On a typical morning at the construction site, the sun was just starting to rise, and the workers were already awake and ready for another busy day. Dust filled the air from their footsteps as they prepared for the challenges ahead. However, on this particular morning, something unusual was about to happen, an unexpected event that would change their usual routine. The team leader, June, was watching over the digging of a new area. The construction machines were making a lot of noise as the ground moved under the skilled workers. Suddenly, in the middle of all the machine sounds, a strange, distressed cry came from deep in the ground. The workers stopped, feeling confused and worried. "Did anyone else hear that?" June asked, trying to find out where the noise was coming from. Another whimper followed, sounding like it was coming from a freshly dug hole. "Something is in there," Pedro, a coworker, shouted, pointing at the hole. June quickly ran over, with others following him. He knelt at the edge of the hole, trying to see what was making the sounds. He noticed some movement in the thick mud and debris. His expression turned serious. "There's something alive here. I need a flashlight and a rope, and I need them fast." June carefully climbed down into the hole. As his eyes got used to the darkness, the flashlight showed a small, muddy creature with scared eyes. In a calming voice, June said, "It's okay, we're going to get you out of here." He gently tied the rope around the small, shaking animal and signaled to the crew to pull it up. Slowly, the creature was lifted from the hole, wet and covered in mud, until it was finally out and safe. The whole crew gathered around, looking curious and worried. "It seems to be a young dog," Pedro proclaimed as he wiped off some mud for a clearer view. The little animal's body shook, clearly drained and terrified. Making an executive decision, June said, "We need to take him to the wildlife clinic. Let's give him a good cleanup and verify if he's hurt." With great care, they bundled up the animal warmly and placed him in June's truck. The ride to the wildlife clinic was fast but fraught with uncertainty. Their collective hope was for the young creature to recover while they eagerly waited to determine what kind of animal it was. Upon reaching the animal clinic, they were welcomed by the veterinary staff, who promptly whisked the creature off for examination. The crew remained outside, feeling nervous and worried, sharing accounts of how they stumbled upon the creature and speculating about the kind of existence it had. Inside the examination room, Dr. Helena, a seasoned vet, steered the team. "We need to cleanse this little one promptly," she articulated. Seizing a receptacle of warm, soapy water, with mild strokes, she started to eliminate the dirt enveloping the creature. As the layers of grime were scrubbed away, the creature's authentic look emerged. "It doesn't resemble a pup," Marcelo, one of the assistants, remarked, furrowing his brows as he witnessed the cleaning process. "The physique and foot structure are distinct," Dr. Helena responded, engrossed in her task. "Let's see what lies beneath all this dirt." The creature, initially stiff and scared, started to unwind at the feel of the warm water and the vet's soothing touch. Its ears, previously obscured by the filth, now projected, manifesting a pointed and graceful form. Its fur, now meticulously cleaned, displayed a radiant reddish-orange shade. "Hold on," said Dr. Helena, taken aback by the discovery. "This isn't a dog, it's a red fox." The assistants exchanged astonished glances. "A fox? How did it find its way to the construction site?" Marcella asked, gently toweling the animal. "That's something we may never find out," Helena retorted. "What matters now is to take care of her and ensure she's in good shape." She carefully scrutinized the fox, searching for injuries and symptoms of undernutrition. Fortunately, the young fox appeared to be in generally good shape, barring a few scrapes and a significant amount of dirt. "We need a moniker for her," Marcelo stated, smiling as he tenderly caressed the now purified fox's head. "What if we go with Mudsy for all the dirt we discovered her in?" Dr. Helena agreed. "Mudsy it is. Now let's put together that name and prep her for a successful recovery." Back where the others waited, June and his crew grew more anxious with each passing minute. Finally, Dr. Helena appeared, carrying a much cleaner and noticeably calmer Mudsy in hand. "She's a juvenile red fox," Helena explained, her face adorned with a smile. "She's roughly 4 months old, and despite her initial fright, she's healthy." The revelation left the workers flabbergasted. "A fox? All this while we were convinced it was a dog." Pedro burst out in laughter. "But we're just relieved that she's safe," June said. "Indeed, she'll be all right," Helena comforted them. "We'll ensure her well-being until she's prepared to roam in her natural territory again." June was beaming with a sense of accomplishment. "We're glad we did what was needed and brought her here." "Thanks a lot, Doctor." "It's our duty to aid," Helena responded, patting Mudsy. "Recovery might take a while, but she'll certainly be prepared for the wilderness before long." As Mudsy was taken to a cozy resting area by the wildlife healthcare team, the workers felt immense relief and happiness. They had saved a life and would cherish that forever. Each day was filled with care for Mudsy, who quickly became a favorite at the wildlife nursing home, captivating both the veterinary staff and visitors with her charm. Dr. Helena regularly checked on her, saying, "You're healing nicely, little one," as she brushed Mudsy's forehead. Mudsy, now vibrant and friendly, had her space filled with toys, water, and nutritious food. Marcelo often visited to monitor her progress. One day, he entered her room while Helena was feeding her and said, "We've got a little sweetener for you." The workers, including June and Pedro, came to see Muncie, their faces lighting up with joy. When Pedro reached out his hand, Muncie recognized him, which amazed everyone. Dr. Helena noted, "Her recall is exceptional." The team felt fulfilled, marveling at Muncie's recovery. They discussed her transition back to the wild, with Helena stating she needed a few more weeks to be ready for survival. During this time, Muncie's popularity soared, with many visitors coming to support her recovery, and her rescue story touched many hearts. One day, while Marcelo catered to Muncie, he remarked to Helena on the unique impact she had brought to their environment. "Every time I glance her way, I'm reminded of how seemingly insignificant deeds can manifest grand outcomes." Helena agreed with him. "No, it's indeed factual, Marcelo. She's a constant reminder of our purpose here, providing aid to the helpless and ensuring they get a fair shot at life." On the verge of complete recovery, Muncie was nearly set for her wilderness reintroduction. Everyone, the hospital team and the construction crew who initially rescued her, were both eager and slightly melancholic to part with her. However, they understood it was what was best for Muncie. "She needs to be reintegrated into her natural environment," iterated Helena as she watched Muncie playing with a chewy toy. The satisfaction derived from knowing they contributed to her survival was invaluable. As the release day approached, Dr. Helena and her team carefully planned Muncie's return to her natural habitat, choosing the perfect spot and checking the weather. Peter expressed the group's feelings, saying, "We're going to miss her, but her freedom is what matters most." On the release day, everyone involved, hospital staff, construction crew, and spectators, gathered to witness Muncie's new beginning. Dr. Helena opened the carriage door, saying, "Let's start your new chapter, Muncie." Muncie paused to look around, then jumped gracefully into the wild, quickly disappearing into the vegetation. The group watched in silence, with Joan whispering, "Have a wonderful life, Muncie." In the days that followed, Muncie grew stronger and more independent under Dr. Helena's care, with the team closely monitoring her recovery. Marcelo, with his endless patience and commitment, invested numerous hours playing with her and presenting minor obstacles to promote her inherent instincts. Helena, with her abundant knowledge, ensured all of Muncie's health requirements were fulfilled. Even the builders would visit the center whenever feasible to check on the fox they had saved. "She's practically prepared," stated Dr. Helena, observing Muncie's adventures in a new yard designed just for her. "In a few days, she can be released." Joan and Pedro, who were at the scene, assented with cheerful demeanors. "It's amazing how much she's developed since the day we discovered her," Joan remarked. "She's a real champion in her recovery phase. There's no denying that Muncie has more than just physical strength. She instantly captured the hearts and minds of those around her with her story of survival and fortitude, turning her into a local sensation." The sanctuary's daily routine included training sessions to prepare Muncie for life in the wild. Marcelo used toys and hidden food to help her develop her hunting skills, explaining to visitors that she needed to learn to fend for herself. Dr. Helena arranged Muncie's final health checkups, confirming she was in excellent condition. "It's our wish to witness her release," said Pedro, emotional about the journey they shared. On the long-awaited release day, under clear blue skies, a crowd gathered in a secluded woodland. Dr. Helena carried Muncie to the release point, whispering, "Are you ready, young one?" As she opened the cage, Muncie stepped out, taking in her surroundings before sprinting into the greenery. The group watched in silence, feeling both joy and sadness at her departure. "She'll thrive," Joan said confidently. Pedro added, "It was a privilege to be part of her journey." Helena reminded them of the importance of empathy and their duty to all creatures. As they left, they felt a renewed sense of purpose, recognizing the deep bond between humans and animals. Later that evening at the hospital, Helena and Marcelo reflected on the day's experiences. A visibly touched Marcelo recalled, "The day was phenomenal. Her absence will be felt." Helena nodded in agreement. "Absolutely, knowing that she is free and happy brings us the greatest joy." As Muncie roamed freely through the woods, the hospital team and construction crew reflected on the incredible journey they had shared. They felt confident that wherever Muncie was, she would be grateful for the care and the new chance at life they had given her.